In today's video, I'll be sharing with you my favorite project bags and baskets in a variety of sizes that I like to use for storing my knitting projects. Grab a cup of something cozy and let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to the Wool Needles Hands Midweek Ramble. My name is Taylor and I will be your host. Today's video, I just wanted to take some time to share with you my favorite project bags that kind of fall into that realm of high quality or handcrafted, using quality materials that are durable, that will stand the test of time, and that ultimately just provide you with a nice place to store your knitting project. Now, it's important to know moving into this video that just like nice hand-thrown coffee mugs, kind of like the one that you see here, nothing that I'm sharing with you today is necessary. Everything here is nice to have. My opinion is whatever your craft, whatever your hobby, and it comes to purchasing gear for that craft or hobby, purchase the best that you can afford. Not that other people can afford and that other people are purchasing, but that works for you. If some of the bags that I mentioned here are out of your reach, that's okay. I'm sharing them because I like them. I do not own all of them that I'm going to share with you here today, some of which I would like to own but are currently out of my reach. However, I'm sharing them here today to provide a little inspiration because any crafter or maker or hobbyist, they like to purchase nice things to elevate their hobby, and that's what we're doing today. Talking about project bags that help elevate the experience that we have doing our hobby. In this case, knitting, crocheting, or doing anything that might provide you with a work in progress that you need someplace to put. Okay, now that we've ironed that all out, gotten that out of the way, I want to tell you how I'm breaking this video down. I'm sort of thinking about it in terms of size. So I'll be starting with project bags that are small enough to fit a pair of socks or a sock knitting project, all the way up to larger baskets that you could essentially hold more than one project or one really large knitting project. You could also even use it to store your yarn. Okay, let's go ahead and start with small sock size project bags. I think that these project bags, if I had to give it a general size breakdown, would be no wider than 10 inches. It's just enough space to give you room for a ball of yarn and an active sock project, or something small like a Sophie scarf or a small shawlette, or I don't know, a hat, for example. It gives you just enough space for those items without a lot of extra room for the yarn and the project to jostle around inside. Sometimes if I'm knitting a pair of socks, I really want that project bag to hold everything in place nice and snug. Because I knit my socks two at a time, I really don't want the balls of yarn moving around in there too much and getting all tangled. So a nice and small project bag that holds just what I'm working on with no additional extra space, you could say, is really important to me as well. So I want to start with one that I recently discovered, or I recently acquired. I've kind of known about these because I've seen them and I always have thought that they're really cool and would make really great project bags, but I finally decided to purchase one a couple days ago while I was at Barnes & Noble. And at Barnes & Noble, the bookstore, they sell Paper Source products, and Paper Source supplies Cavallini and Company products. And this is a cute little zipper pouch by Cavallini and Company. This is a company that specializes in those really pretty graphic vintage style papers that you see that show like diagrams of butterflies, various different types of succulents, all of that. You may be familiar with it. That's what they do. And they have these really awesome vintage bags. And they, in my opinion, are the perfect size for a sock project. I currently have a sock project in here right now. Like I said, I knit socks two at a time. So this bag is holding 2 balls of yarn plus my current sock project and the needles. And that is it. And there's not a lot of extra room in there for things to move around and get jostled. And that's perfect for me. This bag is 9 inches wide and 9 inches wide. And I think it was 7.5 inches deep. But it's just kind of the size of a basic cosmetics bag or a large like pencil case. But it's the perfect size in my opinion. I mean, you can kind of see next to my hand how tall the bag is. And I love it. It's just a really great size. I like that it has a leather zipper pull here. The zipper itself is nice, good quality. And the inside of the bag is just a really plain, canvas fabric. They just make for really quality project bags. And they have a nice box bottom, which is nice. So when you go to set this up somewhere, it stays standing. And I feel like that's always a bonus. It's just a really cool bag. It catches the eye. It's fun to look at. It's fun to throw in your purse and pull out. Yeah, love that. So this is one of my favorites for a 2 at a time sock project or something that's going to be really small. Also, before I move on, every bag that I mention here that is actively available for purchase is listed down below in the description box. So if there's something I share here that you're interested in, definitely check the description box. Everything is linked down there. Okay, this next one is one that I reach for all the time, even if I'm working with something larger than socks or just, a project that's just getting off the ground, so it's still pretty small, because I love the shape of this bag. This is by the Prickly Owl Company, or the Prickly Owl Co. Her shop is currently not featuring any listings because she just had a shop update, but I know she has a shop update coming from what I've noticed on Instagram. So I'm going to link to her shop down below, and you can kind of keep an eye on when she's going to have a shop update. But she makes fantastic bags and she uses really cool fabric. Her fabric choices are totally right down my alley. I love the bright colors. I love the really fun prints. This one has really cute tigers in some vegetation. And what I love a ton about her bags is she always has these really oversized fun tassels on the zippers. They're just unique, original, and I don't know, I love them. So this bag, I've not measured this bag, so I can't be certain, but I want to say this is a 10-inch bag. So from side to side, it's 10 inches. And then I want to say that this is about 8 inches in terms of depth. It's a good smooth zipper. The inside of the bag has really nice cotton lining. Just a basic zipper pouch project bag. Nothing fancy, no additional pockets, no additional bulk. You can grab it and go. And I take this project bag, and I grabbed it aggressively like that intentionally, but I take this when I go walk Pepper so that I can knit in the park where we kind of have our halfway point, and I'll just like shove it up under my arm and I'll hold the leash. I mean, obviously depending on what you have in there, right? But for the most part, I love that it's a flexible bag, but the fabric's not too flimsy. It doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel, I don't know. It feels nice and sturdy, but kind of soft and flexible at the same time. I don't know, just a great bag. So Prickly Owl Company, fantastic bags. If you want something fun and kind of punchy with a lot of good color, follow her over on Instagram. Her Instagram account shows all the different kinds of bags that she makes, and I know you'll fall in love with them. So yeah, I love this. So this is just your basic zipper style bag with no additional frills, except for, of course, this really adorable pom-pom. Okay, this next one is also one of my go-to grab and go sock knitting project bags, especially if you're knitting socks or if you're knitting any small item 2 at a time. Because of the shape of this particular bag, it's perfect for 2 balls of yarn. This is what you would call a boxy Dopp kit. So it's kind of that style of toiletry bag that you would, use if you're traveling, and that's what a Dopp kit is. So if you're looking for a bag that is similar to this one, what you would want to search for is a Dopp kit or a toiletry bag. So I know a lot of people have asked about this. This particular one was given to me as a gift several years ago from World Market. I can't find it anywhere. It's a toiletry bag and it's boxy, and that's part of the construction that makes it special. It has piping, or I don't know what you would, like piping along the edges here to give it its structure. It holds its structure really well. Obviously, it has a boxed bottom. It opens up to kind of just like I've shown before, that perfect size for 2 at a time socks. You probably can't see that too much here. Has a lot of space. I mean, you could even fit a shawl project in this for quite a while before it becomes too big. It's just, I don't know, I just love the shape. So even though I can't share with you where this particular one came from, I did find one that's very similar, handmade. You can purchase from a small Etsy shop that I actually really, really love and would like to get my hands on as well. So that one is by the Craft Queen on Etsy, and she calls it her boxy tool pouch. I'm going to pop some pictures up here. The fabric choices are so good here. I love the leather handle option. It's a great way to just kind of grab it and go. This doesn't have any kind of handle on it, though I have been known to add like purse straps to these loops on the side here so that I can take it with me when I'm walking Pepper. But this is another one of those ones that the structure of the bag, you can kind of, push it up under your arm and like go somewhere and have it ready to go. depending on how aggressive you want to get with your knits. Now, in addition to those bags, ones that I already own, here are a couple that I really would love to own, but it's not in my budget right now to go purchase either of these. But the first one is by Magner & Co. You know how much I love Magner. It's one of my favorite medium-sized project bags, and I'm going to share that with you in a minute. But he also makes waxed canvas small project bags. They're small enough to hold just about one sock project, maybe even a hat project, but something small. They come in a variety of colors. I love the genuine leather strap. You really can't go wrong with Magner. So this is one of my kind of wish list small project bags for the future that's just a little out of my budget right now. Okay, the next one in that category for small projects is by Jezebel B, who I actually talked about on the last episode of the podcast when I shared with you a little tapestry needle pouch that I purchased from her recently. She has amazing leather and, textile project bags. The craftsmanship is beautiful. The quality is fantastic. And this particular one I absolutely love. The name of this bag is French, but it is essentially the small leather knitting bag. It hangs over your arms. It comes in such beautiful supple leather. You can get black or you can get brown. It is gorgeous. I am probably, of the two that I'm sharing here on my wish list, this would be the one that I would want next. I love that you can hang it over your arm. When I'm going to, hockey practice for the boys, I can just have that over my arm and it looks really nice. So that is by Jezebel B. It is the leather knitting wristlet or leather knitting bag. Okay, now I want to move into medium-sized project bags. When it comes to medium-sized project bags, this is what I'm looking for. I want a really heavy, not necessarily heavy, but nice, durable fabric or something quilted that provides more than just this. So when it's a larger project bag than this, I don't want this kind of flexibility because chances are what I'm holding in there is larger and heavier, and I want it to be a little bit more resilient, a little bit more sturdy. Everything kind of stays in place and the bag doesn't become super slouchy when I'm knitting right from it, keeping the yarn in the bag, so on and so forth. So this is great for this size bag, but for the medium and anything larger, I want something a little bit more durable than this. Things that are like waxed canvas or a heavier canvas. Leather would be fantastic, or quilted fabrics where you have multiple layers of fabric with some kind of interfacing in between. I'm not a quiltist. I don't really know how that works, but that's kind of what I'm going for with medium-sized project bags and then anything larger than that. First one I want to share with you is a quilted project bag. This is a fabric project bag made with cotton fabrics, but the fabric itself is durable and you can tell there's some kind of an interfacing in there. It feels nice and sturdy, but it is a little bit of a larger size bag. This is one that I purchased from Little Robin Cottage. Her name is Lacey. She makes really beautiful project bags. I believe her listings are current right now. I'm not sure if she has any new active listings. I'll link to her shop down below, but she makes really lovely project bags. I love her zipper. She includes cute little zipper tassels that can also be progress keepers for your knitting project. Just a really nice quality bag. There is a pocket on the inside, and when it comes to medium-sized projects, I feel like a pocket is much more appreciated. I don't know why. I don't know why a medium-sized project bag needs a pocket any more than a small one does, but I just feel like smaller project bags, I want less frills because I don't want all that extra space. I don't know, it's my preference, but this does have a nice little pocket if you have a paper pattern or some little notions that you want to keep in there. Just really well made, really nice quality stitch work, a box bottom, and then of course a way to hold it on your arm, which I really like. Okay, this next project bag you can't purchase anymore. You can't purchase it from this company as it is here, but I'm going to share it anyway because there are some Etsy shops that are making project bags damn near identical to this one. And then there's also a place you can go if you are a sewist where you can purchase the pattern and the kit to sew your own. And that is the Fringe Supply Company Field Bag. So if you've been around, the knitting community for any length of time, I have to imagine you've seen one of these before. This was a product that was put out by Fringe Supply Company called the Field Bag, and this is it. And it's made of really lovely canvas. It has a nice leather strap with these really nice kind of rope, what do you call that? Drawstrings. And the inside of the bag has several pockets, actually, well, 3 pockets. So you get let's see if I can open, let me turn this inside out. Maybe this will make it easier. So we're gonna turn the sucker inside out and you can see the pocket situation that we have here. Okay, so we have on this side of the bag, 2 pockets, smaller sized pockets, and this particular section right here, it's not really a pocket, it's a place to put needles or pens, pencils, what have you, maybe cable needles, and then you have a small little pocket right here. And then on this side of the bag, you have a larger pocket with grommets. If you're working color work or you just want to separate out your yarn, it provides you the grommets there for that. And then it gives you a place to put maybe a notebook or a paper pattern, what have you, whatever works for you. So it does provide you with some really nice, convenient pockets. And then I do appreciate the heavier canvas, not only for the structure and integrity of the bag when you're working with a larger project, but also because it gives you a great place to put pins. Enamel pins are fun. I want to say that I picked this up from Firebird Fibers in San Francisco, but I can't remember. So that is the Fringe Supply Company field bag. Now, Grainline Studio, which is a place that specializes in sewing patterns, they sell kits for these if you want to make your own. They give you the fabric, the leather handle, the drawstrings, all of that. If you want to make your own, I'll link to that down below. But if you want something similar and you want to purchase it pre-made, a couple of places that you can go on Etsy, and I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget. So you have Sweet Acorn Creations that has the project bag, which is identical in style to this one. And then there's also one that I thought was really cool by Red Knit Company called the Upcycled Denim Field Bag. And it's the same style, but she's upcycling denim fabric to create the bag. So I kind of like, the recycled fabric use for that. And that was all I had here. However, if you go to Etsy and you type in field bag into the search box, you're going to find lots of makers that are replicating that bag and giving really, really pretty options, really durable fabrics, lots of interesting spins on this design there on Etsy. And most of them are pretty reasonable in price. Okay, I think the reason why I love the Magner & Company project bag that I'm about to share with you here is because it does a fabulous job replicating but going above and beyond what the Fringe Supply Company field bag provided. And this is that right here. So this is the Magner Original Knitting Project Bag. It's kind of medium largish, I would say. It's a really generous size. It's made of a really nice durable waxed canvas, which is why it attracts a lot of fiber. So you can probably see there's lots of Surrey fiber going on here. That's just the nature of this fabric, but it's super durable, really just substantial feeling. We have 2 genuine leather straps on either side, and the drawstrings are also a genuine leather drawstring. And the inside of this bag is just loaded with pocket possibilities. So I'm going to flip this guy inside out. And again, I apologize in advance for all of the fiber you're about to see on the inside of this bag because my Franken sweater, if you've been watching, was in this and it sheds inside the bag. But it's going to give you a gist. Okay. So here's the first side. Again, we have a nice big pocket here with the 3 grommets for organizing yarn if you're doing color work or anything that requires more than 1 strand of yarn. And then on this side, you have a zipper pouch for keeping things that you really don't want falling all over the place, like your stitch markers, progress keepers, scissors, anything of the like. And then on this side, these also have those sectioned off like little pockets for pencils or pens or needles, cable needles. The world is your oyster. So that is the Magner & Company original knitting project bag, and I love it. This is definitely, when it comes to these larger projects or a sweater, this is what I gravitate towards. However, because it's still kind of a medium-sized bag, I grow out of the bag eventually. So once, not all sweaters grow out of this bag. My Franken sweater has grown out of this bag and is actually in this basket that you see behind me here. But up until a certain point, this is my go-to for bigger sweater projects. In terms of wish list bags for this medium bag category, we're gonna have to go back to Jezebel B because she has these gorgeous wool felted arm bags. This actually comes in a range of sizes. This one has a small version, and then it also has the medium one as well. The medium one to me here kind of looks to be similar in size to this bag. However, because the shape of the bag, it kind of has like a bucket look to it. I feel like it's going to hold a lot more, and that's kind of why I categorized it as medium. However, she's also categorizing it as medium as well. It's definitely going to hold a medium size project, and you can see from the photos here that it has these snaps that hold the strap on your arm, but you can unsnap them and open the bag up and set it down and knit from it. It just, there's possibilities. Really well thought out, and I appreciate that. The design is just, I love it. That is the medium felt knitting bag by Jessica B, and just like her other one, it's on my wish list. Okay, I cannot say or I cannot justify that I am in the market for a large knitting bag, because I'm not. But there are some that I've seen that I really love. And I'm going to my phone right now to use this as a reference because I don't have any here to show you in person. So let's go ahead and just dive right in. And the first one, we're going back to Jessica B. You guys, I've just recently discovered her and I'm obsessed. So you just have to bear with me. Her stuff is amazing. So she has a bag called the Extra Large Dark Blue Denim Knitting Bag. And it's her extra large knitting bag. It doesn't have to be dark blue denim. There are tons of colors of this bag. But you guys, I love the style. This makes me want to get into walking and knitting, which I'm really bad at. But this just makes the whole, like if you're standing in line at the DMV or anywhere where you have to just stand, it's that perfect opportunity to have a nice big project that is typically not very portable seem much more portable. So I love this. Extra large dark blue denim knitting bag. It's telling me it's low in stock, which is bad for business right now. Sticking with Jessica B for a minute, we're going to go to her leather option for that same bag. The name of this bag is in French and I am not going to try, but I will translate it for you. I can do that much. This is the leather bag for knitting, or the leather knitting bag. And it is just so lovely. Same design as that felted bag. You get the snaps on the arm so that you can unsnap it and open the bag and knit from it. It just looks so classy and elevated and grown up and sophisticated and all those, words that can just, I don't know. I love that. So that's definitely on my wish list. I do have one more, and this one is really cool. I think you're going to get a kick out of this. This is by Stony Lake Textiles, and this is called the Knitting Tote. And it's such an interesting looking construction. It's essentially a bucket with a drawstring bag sewn to the inside. So you get the benefits of the bucket shape holding a really large project with lots of balls of yarn, but then you get that drawstring bag top to close everything in. And then you have a really nice shoulder strap that's adjustable, and it looks like it can be removed on both sides, which is really awesome. And then down at the bottom, the base of the bucket looks to me like a really nice waxed canvas, and I can appreciate that. And you guys, that fabric, I almost want to say that's the same fabric as this fabric, but in green. Yeah, it looks like it. I love it. Such a nice bag. Again, it's an investment. It's pricey. Out of budget for me at the moment, and that's okay. I'm completely okay with that. But I love the shape, I love the style, and perhaps it's just what you're looking for if you're in the market for a large project bag. So loving that. So that is by Stony Lakes Textiles, the Knitting Tote. Oh, and I'm just going to add to this also that Magner & Company also has a large knitting bag that looks just like the medium-sized one I shared with you, and it's gorgeous. And it's also one of those wish list items. Definitely check it out. You just need to go to Magner & Co. when he comes back from his ski trip, because I think he's on a ski trip right now. When he comes back, go to his Etsy shop and just look at his inventory. You can thank me later. Okay, I pulled out the big bananas for this one, folks. These are baskets. So anything larger than those extra large or large project bags I just shared with you kind of fall into that basket category in my opinion. They're super big. But sometimes you get to a point where your project just is no longer portable, or you just don't want to take it around with you because it just becomes kind of cumbersome depending on the weight of the item. And you need a nice place to put it that's grab and go, or that sits by your chair where you knit and it looks nice and it holds everything together nicely. I think the key word with this whole thing that we're talking about today with project bags is nice. These things are nice. They're not necessary. They're just nice. It's a difference, and you have to just kind of embrace that. Nothing I'm sharing with you here is necessary. I'm just going to reiterate that. They're just nice. And that's what these are. These are baskets that are nice. I'm always looking for really good baskets to hold things in because I think it's a really aesthetic and inexpensive way to store items that just kind of accumulate. And your knitting projects really are no different. They kind of, as they grow, accumulate and take up space. And you want something aesthetically pleasing that you can set on the floor even that looks nice and it doesn't look cluttered. Enter the African market bag. I had some people ask me about this basket. This is a market basket. Some folks left comments in one of the previous videos about this basket because I had it sitting back there on the ottoman. This is one of my favorite places to store knitting projects that are just growing too large. It's a really cool looking funky basket that you can set on the floor. It doesn't look cluttered. It's colorful. It has tons of generous space in there. My Franken sweater is living in here right now with its yarn. It's kind of nice to just leave it over by my knitting chair and grab and go. I'm not taking this sucker anywhere with me because it's just not portable anymore. And it's nice to just have it here. Or let's say I wanted to go into another part of the house, just pick it up, carry it to the other part of the house where I'm going to do some knitting, and I'm good because it's got this nice handle on it. So an African market basket is a really good way to go for storing those really large projects that you just aren't going to be taking anywhere with you, or that just are too, large to put in a project bag. I can't find this exact one because all of these are handmade. It's kind of like every single one varies in some way or another, but I have linked to some of my favorites down below in the description box. So check the links down there. But again, this is an African market basket. Okay, similar to an African market basket is a belly basket. Now, you may be saying to yourself, Lord Taylor, what kind of knitting project are you keeping in there? And that is a fantastic question. I'm not, and I can't think of anything I would knit that would require this kind of a market basket. However, I share this with you because you never know what you're working on. And I love these baskets because, then this is a bonus, watch what happens. So this is the fully opened out belly basket, but what you can do that is really cool is you can push all of that down and then you have this. And that can be used much in the same way as my market basket is being used to hold a large sweater project. This was, I'm not sure, we were holding like some of the kids' stuff in this at one point or another, but it has a lot of space in here. It's just a really great place for holding a larger project. It looks nice if it's sitting on the floor, and you don't, if you don't want it to look cluttered, it kind of just looks nice down there. And then what's even nicer about that, let's say you're using this to not only hold one project, maybe what you're doing is over by the chair where you knit in your house or wherever you have your knitting space. Maybe what's happening, I put all of my little project bags away. Let me grab them. Maybe what you're doing is you're trying to find a place to put all of the little project bags. And so now we have a nesting project bag situation. So all of my little project bags can go in here just like that. And you can even fit, shoot. There's plenty of space in there. I don't think you can really see in there. But it makes for a really great place, to nest all of your projects. So if you have a lot of sock projects going on and you want to kind of keep them under wraps and hidden in your house so you don't just have a bunch of random bags laying around, this is a really great way to do that. Or, like I mentioned before, if all you're doing is using it for one project, push that down and then you have a really cute basket. So that is a belly basket. If you're looking for one of these, I have linked to them down below in the description box, but you can also just search belly basket and you should find something similar to this. Okay, for this last one, we are kind of now venturing away from storage, project storage in your home, and I wanted to share with you a backpack that I recently purchased for our trip to Dallas. And the reason I purchased this particular backpack was because I knew I was going to be taking lots of knitting projects with me, and I wanted a nice, deep backpack that wasn't going to break the bank. I didn't want one of those hiking backpacks. I wanted it to be nice and casual for a flight or a trip like that. I didn't want some kind of heavy duty, thing, but I wanted it to be able to hold lots of projects. And this is what I found. Look at how big this thing is. So it's super big. I'm going to put it on so you can see how big it is relative to my body. I'm 5'4". I don't know if that matters, but this is it. I have nothing in it right now, so it's really slouchy, but here we are. This is what it looks like. And it was great for holding my projects and then holding some other random little things that I would need. Because, you know, I'm a person that does other things other than knit. I purchased it with my knitting projects in mind, but I also knew that it had other little storage spaces. You have like these pockets here, and there's another pocket that goes in this way, and then it's got this big pocket down here which has a little zipper pouch inside and places to store things like your keys and pens. It has it has the side strap here for like a jacket. If you're hanging a jacket over, you can hold it like this if you need to, kind of like an overnight bag. A generous water bottle situation happening, and then it also has a zipper down here at the bottom for storing stuff in the bottom of the bag as well. And I appreciated that. And that's actually really important. A really important reason for why I purchased that backpack. I'm going to move my chair back so we can get comfortable again. Now, this may seem overkill for a travel backpack, but my reasoning was I wanted a place to store my projects so that I would have them available to me on the airplane. But I'm a mother, and I'm also a person who has other things besides knitting related things, and I needed to have available spaces for those as well. I paid $64 for this bag, and there were similar bags of similar sizes and styles for way more than that. And so I feel like that was a really good deal for such a nice quality bag with a really nice print that I think kind of looks cool and funky, with lots of available space and a really great way to travel with all of my other little project bags. Project bags and nice things for crafters are so very personal. That connection that you have to those things and the feeling that you have for the little accessories and add-ons that help to make your craft possible, that's really important and valuable. Now, not all of the things that you can purchase to kind of support your craft are necessary. Most of the things are just really nice to have. And in the case of what I shared with you here today, that's exactly what these are. They are nice to have. They're not necessities. They aren't things that you have to have in order to be a good knitter or to produce quality knitwear or knitted items. They're just things that are nice to have, and they elevate your experience. If they're out of budget for you now, then save your pennies so that maybe in the future they can be within your budget and you feel really good about making that purchase. So keep that in mind if I have influenced you by any of the items I've shared with you here today. So that will be it for me today. I really enjoyed pulling my projects together, organizing them in a way that I thought would be helpful for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me today as I ramble on about project bags. If you took value or enjoyed yourself at all during this video, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe and click the bell icon so you can be notified anytime I upload new content here on the channel. Don't forget to check out the merch shop, which is linked down below in the description box. Listings for Wool Needles Hands merch can also be seen below the video. Pick up a coffee mug or a t-shirt, and that is a great show of support for the work that I'm doing here at the Wool Needles Hands channel. As always, and until we meet again for Sunday's podcast episode, happy knitting, happy making, happy whatever it is that you're doing. Take care, be well, and I will see you soon. Bye.